exciting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
It is Wednesday, and you're locked into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Hump Day, baby, and we are live and local right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves, the winning Atlanta Braves.
Yes,
don't
sir.
forget the Braves will – oh, come on, Jeffrey. Don't you start. But either way, the Braves are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Billbird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. We're pumped up and ready to go for this Wednesday.
Let's go.
We got in the building. That's right. He's back. Tennessee Brandon is back with us. Brando, good to see you, man.
I'm so happy to be back. I mean, it's football season.
It is.
I mean, this is week 0. This is what we've all been waiting for since the national championship ended.
Yes.
You know, we've been finding and scraping every bit of news and information in football, and we're not going to have to scrape or find it anymore because it's going to be plenty of it out there, as there already is.
Yeah, and that orange,
I had to liven up. I've been watching for months. And I was like, man, I don't see much orange in there.
There is
I
no
said,
orange here.
I will have to fix that.
There was on a license plate in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It was Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia played with orange.
did-
That's interesting.
They didn't know how to drive. Is that
Sun.
peach? It was that Georgia
Oh, the
peach on
Georgia
the license
peach.
plate. Yeah, they didn't know how to drive.
It's so
though.
weird. I don't know how to feel about like us not playing Florida or Georgia this year. It feels so weird.
It
you
is
know?
weird.
Play a 9-game, add an extra SEC game, and you take 2 of our games that we've had for 20 plus years and just throw them out the window for a little bit.
You know, this is probably the team that is the hardest to even understand who they have as the rivals. Y'all have Alabama and Vandy. Mm-hmm. Who's your third?
Kentucky.
No, it's not.
It's not Kentucky.
No, it's not.
Let me check.
Wait, is it Kentucky? Yeah, it must be Kentucky.
It's
Kentucky's got
regional.
South Carolina, which is weird, Florida, and Tennessee. That's right. So y'all do have Kentucky.
Yeah, it was weird just because of the try to do like the regional aspect of it, and so nobody else is up there with
Well,
us,
y'all
like Knoxville. So
What is that? Is that I-75?
Yeah,
You go up through
40
Corbin
runs,
up to Lexington.
I-75, yeah, up through.
That's
up
right through the mountains. Did you hear my story?
Which one?
I got lots of them,
It's
right?
geographic.
Let's go ahead and greet Bone Crusher
Yeah,
first.
well, we got to say hello to you before
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
barged in
Skip
our
over me.
conversation again. But Jeffrey, we're glad to have you. You don't have to say anything. Bone Crusher, good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah, Jeff's different stories. It's all one story and it never ends.
You're
That's
right.
exactly right.
Love that.
That's good. You're exactly right. You know what? Let's talk about Recommended Collision Center.
No.
I mean, you guys do such great work. I've seen the work that you've done. We come over last time and was there showing how it goes and how you can take a vehicle almost all the way apart and just put it back together, have it ready, safe. And, you know, one of the things that I cannot ever forget when I came over to your place is that you said, I've had vehicles get in the same type of accident, and it is so cool to see. Not that they got into an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me rephrase that part. But that when you take everything apart and look at it, it does not have any, like, weaknesses from where you guys put it together, and that's important.
That's been a kind of a rare occasion where we may put in a front radiator support, which is basically the front structural integrity of any vehicle.
Yeah.
And like you said, we never and would never want anybody to get into an accident, but there have been a couple over the years. Like I said, never would wish it, but there have been a couple over the years where they got in the same type of accident, like you said. And for that car to come back and for us to disassemble it, and typically I try to give it to the same technician because they're familiar with it. That's their work. And so, it's cool to them and it's cool to me in the aspect of, look, we did this just as well as the factory. Like, this held up. This was great. This is awesome to see.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff that why we invest in the education to do so, all the programs, the technology and the equipment in order. That stuff's not cheap, man. It's super expensive, and it takes a lot of money to stay compliant and up to date with that kind of stuff. And so we take pride in that. Quality of work and customer service are our two most, are our pillars of our business. And I tell everybody, if we take care of those, everything else is going to take care of itself. So yeah, you're right. It is interesting to see something that we've repaired and it come back, and it holds up as well, if not even better sometimes, as the factory did. So yeah, that is something we do take pride in.
And that's important. And in this heat that's here, you're gonna. I mean, you can just write it down. You're going to need a paint job. Something is going to lift. Something is going to fade. It happens to everybody.
It happens.
It's going to happen.
Nothing's meant to last forever, and a lot of people, they're, they don't understand that, like, when they take their car out in the sun and it just sits, your car's going to get a sunburn just like you would. Now, wax for a car, you polish, wax, is the same thing as sunscreen to a human. Mm-hmm. So you can't just expect your car just to protect itself and it be okay. Wax and polish, especially here in the great state of Florida where the UV rays is almost criminal. It will damage your vehicle as it would damage you if you just stayed out in the sun. So I always encourage people, especially after we do some work to a vehicle, or people who spend a lot of money and they get what we call an all-over paint job. And we paint the car all over. We take everything apart, we sand it down, we paint it, fix any dents, scratches, replace any of the plastic moldings, and then they spend a good amount of money. They take it back, and I'm trying to educate them. Hey, if you want this to last, 10 plus years as the original did, you have to do this, you have to do that, things of that nature. So yeah, we take pride in things lasting, as long as, the good Lord would let them, because nothing's meant to last forever. Everything, they don't make them like they used to. And I see cars every day. I used to think when I was a kid that was just a saying. People just said that. That was what some old people said, right? No,
we got old people in the building.
Hey, I don't want to offend nobody.
These two guys get
offended. Wait, I was sleeping. Sorry.
In defense, the older I get, the older old gets. So,
right.
my old when I thought when I was in 18 is nowhere even close to the old that I think that I am at the age of 32. So 50 is not old. That's right around the corner for me. So it's nothing even of that, man. But yeah, we take pride in all that.
Where's it located? Give us the address.
So we're at 1329 Jinx Avenue, on the south side of Jinx Avenue. We're like just a couple miles from downtown, right over the railroad tracks. I mean, we have a black, gray, red building. We got two buildings. We have a pretty big lot. We have a paint shop, a body shop. Then we have the fenced in area where we try to keep all of like employee cars and customer cars and things of that nature, all secured, security footage, locks, things like that. So we've never blessed with it, knock on wood. We've never had any issues with that, especially living on Jinx Avenue, especially when the bus station was downtown. There was all kinds of people walking that street. You never knew.
That's right.
But yeah, we've been blessed with it, man, to be secure and in a great location.
Yeah, he's standing right there. All these kind of
hey, now Bone Crusher. I wouldn't talk.
Well, speaking of old, Brandon, what, as far as cars go, what would you consider old? When does it become not a standard repair, but maybe an older car? And do you guys work on those old?
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. Those are a case by case basis, and I don't tell people no or yes on the phone. Typically when things start to get 12 to 15 years old, that's about the time that the paint's starting to fade and the plastic starts to deteriorate. And when you yank on that door handle on that car, it's become so brittle that you yank your door handle off your car and you're like, how do I get into my vehicle type of thing?
Hold on, time out. You climb through the window. Isn't that right, Bone Crusher?
Oh, Dukes of Hazzard style. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that stuff's not meant to last forever. So I tell customers, like, bring it by, let me look at it. You know, if it's something that we can handle, I can get parts for. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'm a businessman. If it's gonna be more headache than it's worth, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you, say, hey, this is what you're looking at. It's gonna cost this much. It's not worth it. You know, something like that. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Yeah. You know, we're family owned. I tell people I would give you advice that I'd give my, you know, my uncle, a brother if I had one, my sister, aunt, mom, dad, etc. I'm gonna treat you like that. And I said, you know, I told my Thomas, I'm a businessman. I want your money, but I also don't want you to spend it recklessly. Right. And to do something where you're gonna be mad at me in a couple of weeks and, you know, something happens again or, you know, something fails. So I try to be honest and upfront, transparent as possible, because that's the way I'd want to be talked to as well. And, you know, I know that automotive shops and body shops have this bad, sleazy name in essence of like, lying or getting over on people or things like that. And we don't want that name. No. We tried, I'd go out there after I write the estimate, I go over it line by line. I said, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions why I'm doing this? And, you know, if you go to another shop and they get an estimate, it's way lower, and you want to know why, bring it back here. I'll tell you the differences between our estimates and why I'm doing what they're doing. That's huge. And if I can work with you, I'll work with you. I'm not saying this is the only way, but this is the way that we want to do it here at Recommended, the way that it's going to last and the way that's going to benefit you.
The other part about it is that you're a one-stop shop. So if there's something mechanically wrong, you get it to the professionals as well for them so that they don't have to, okay, well, you're going to do the body work and then this company is going to do the mechanical side. You take the vehicle and you take care of the whole thing.
We run it start to finish, whether we can do it in-house. Now, obviously, all businesses, you want to keep everything in-house that you physically can. I'll be the first to admit there are some things that we're not able to do, but I'll be the first to admit to tell you that I promise you I do know somebody who can do it. Right. So whether we do the paint and body and replace all the parts, and let's say, you know, we need an alignment. Well, I don't do an alignment. Well, we'll, you know, take it over to maybe Goodyear and get an alignment. And then, it needs to be programmed. All right, I got to take this F-150 after it gets the alignment over to AutoNation Ford and get an alignment on it. So, like, you know, we'll take it from everywhere that it needs to go. We even do complimentary cleans. I'm not going to call them a detail because they're not going to be, you know, a $250, $300 detail quality. But like my middle school coach, Donnie Yates, always said, leave it better than you found it. If you get it and it looks bad, vacuum it up, pick up a couple pieces of obvious trash, wipe off your handprints, clean the outside, and nobody's going to complain. And most people actually thank you for cleaning their car. You know, we've had some people that walk out there and they're like, you cleaned my car. Nothing about the body work, nothing about the paint work. They were just so appreciative that they got their car cleaned and weren't expecting it. So we just try to do things, you know, go above and beyond.
Well, Brandon, you mentioned earlier that you treat customers like family. Now, I understand that you kind of just had that experience. First of all, did I hear right that your wife was in an accident?
Yeah, she did get into an accident, you know, and luckily, and thank God she is okay. Very minimal physical damage. You know, anybody that gets into I've been to a car accident, you know, something similar, and I didn't even want to kind of ride in a car for a minute. It was just kind of, you know, that PTSD type, you know, trauma, to be honest with you. And she was driving. I wasn't driving in mine. And, you know, she has to drive 100 miles a day to work. And so, like, it's been tough for her. She worked a couple of days at home. But, you know, thank God that she's okay. Cars are replaceable.
That's
you know,
right.
so we're getting it all figured out. I'm very, very blessed that, you know, it was all good. It totaled the vehicle, airbags. Okay. I mean,
I was going to ask you what you quoted her on the word.
Yeah. So it was an insurance job. It just ended up being a 2020, and it's hard to believe that a 2020 is considered almost dated in insurance eyes. It's 6 years old and 150,000 miles. They did an OTL, which is called an obvious total loss. They seen the pictures and said, we don't even need to write an estimate. We're going to go ahead and just, you know, get the valuation of the vehicle and try to see if we can go ahead and pay you out on it, because it was something that they did not need an estimate on.
Yeah. And the thing is that not only do you have Brandon there, but the other guys, and I call him tall Brandon and shorter Brandon.
Yeah, and that's the facts.
It's better than not skinny and fat.
Yeah, there's also like there's a couple people that call us like B1, B2, and things like that. But yeah, I got Brandon and Jake in the office, and I got Trent. I mean, they hold my office down, and then I got my paint shop, my body shop, and then I got a couple of young guys. They're awesome. They're go-getters. They're young kids. They're in college. They have good attitudes. They're willing to learn. They're willing to sweat. And it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have AC in the shop. These guys are out here,
Do
working.
you open a door to let the air flow?
I'll be honest with you, it's all I can do to keep my office cool. We have it at 72. By the end of the day at 5 o'clock, it's about 77 or 78 degrees in there, and it doesn't cool down until we get back in the morning. Just the way the sun rises, our office faces the east, and it just bakes our office for the first 4 to 5 hours.
Maybe you ought to sit your shirt out there and let it kind of tone it down a little bit, because it's a little bright today. Even Kyle Albritton says, I think a pumpkin exploded on his shirt. He needs to take it to the washer. So he's a Florida fan.
I've watched this a few times, Kyle.
Real quick, who do you think is the best orange, Jeff? Is it Clemson? Is it Texas? Is it Tennessee? Or is it? Can we go Florida? Because that's all oranges. Ooh. Who's got the best orange?
The Gators kind of dull down. It's not as bright.
But it pops with that blue.
Texas is too dark, though.
It's
like a burnt.
It burnt. There's
Yes,
something
that's
wrong
no good.
with it.
But
When you burn something, it ain't good.
But doesn't the Florida orange kind of pop with that blue, though?
It does.
It does help.
But here's the problem with Florida, though. They kind of go to like different blues and even a green sometimes. And I'm like, would you just pick colors? Come on. No, I'm going to have to go with Florida, then Clemson, and then Tennessee.
No,
Texas.
Sorry.
It's the Pantone 151 is the best shade of orange there is.
Yeah, the body shop guy got the exact color. All right, Bone Crusher, what's your favorite orange?
For this week only, my favorite orange is going to be Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
In honor of Dolly Parton.
That is right.
Amen.
That
Hey,
is
I think
right.
we should all, not all, but I think Tennessee Volunteers should wear like they talked about like wearing like a butterfly on the back of their helmet for this season just for Dolly.
Oh, wow.
I watched Peyton Manning hold Dolly Parton by the hand and walk her out on a stage in Neyland Stadium to sing Rocky Top at halftime at one of the games. Y'all talk about she's not just a star. She's an icon, not for just Tennessee, but for women, for people who love music, people who watch movies, pop culture.
Yeah, you're right.
All over the world. I heard about the book thing. I didn't know about that. That's an awesome advocate for children and one for children to learn and to read. And she knew that was important, and that's just awesome. That's kind of why I brought my little Dolly thing.
Yeah, bring
in.
that over here so that everybody can see it. And Bone Crusher, you can zoom
My
in.
grandfather.
What year is this from?
1977.
Wow.
So my grandfather was a big collector. My dad's a collector and I'm a collector, and I ended up grabbing this from his after he passed, and I was like, this is cool. I like old things. It's actually been hanging over my desk, like behind me, for the last 7 years. And when she passed, I looked up there and I was like, no way. I was like, that's just wild. So I've had this. Like I said, I'm a big Tennessee fan. I've been a Dolly fan. My mom told me that my mom used to run a paper route when I was little. And obviously, had to take the kid with her. You got to work.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, a lot longer than that. But I'll sit that down here a second.
Yeah, Dolly's a little top heavy. She's going to fall over.
Wow.
A little too soon. So I used to just get car sick and be a little heathen in the car. And so my mom didn't really know what to do. She's trying to wrap papers, drive with her knee, throw them out the window. But she's got this toddler screaming and yelling and throwing up in his car seat. She put in a Dolly Parton cassette tape every time she took me on the paper route. Angel. I don't know why. I don't really remember all that, but something about Dolly's voice soothed me as a child, let me relax, let me sleep. I stopped getting car sick, and I stopped crying in the car. That's all I know.
And Brandon's first word was Jolene. There you go. But either way, you're exactly right. She's an icon, and Brandon, we're so glad to have you back. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, you know what time it is. Instant Replay Sports Cards with Aaron Bearden, and we got to talk about what is coming out this week. Some great stuff. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
I may not have gotten Texas right at the end of the season. I did miss a game or two, but you know what game I got right? The Red River game. That's an easy one to get right.
Give me a break. Every time they've beaten us, we've had a quarterback that's been injured.
I'm sorry, Sooner. I'm not really in charge of the excuse department at the University of Oklahoma.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, sponsored by the Deckhand Social. Weekdays 2 to 4 and 6 to 8 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. The rest of the day, a likelihood of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, an 89 with a gentle breeze around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. Tonight, a possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies with lows around 78. Tomorrow, a variety of some clouds and a possibility of thunderstorms and a temperature near 88. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to espnpc.com and click the contact button.
Pull up a chair, Braves country, because your Atlanta Braves are ready to play ball on the Braves Radio Network.
And he swings it. It's one high and deep to left field. Green to the wall, and it's gone! Home run, Ozzie Albies!
Tonight, one of baseball's biggest matchups comes to Truist Park as the Los Angeles Dodgers roll into Atlanta for a 3-game series with the Braves.
Coverage coming up at 6, first pitch 6:15 on your home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight, right after the show. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. The Braves are always right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. If you want to be a part of this show, all you got to do is call in on the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. Brandon's here, Jeffrey's here, Bone Crusher's here, and on the phone line is Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, fantastic. How about you guys?
We are doing awesome. You know, we've just been having a great time. Brandon's back with us. He's got this beautiful, not really, orange shirt on, and it is bright. I mean, it just kind of catches my eye on the left side. I'm just feeling like the sun's blaring on my face.
There you go, baby.
Inside. So, but, you know, Aaron, you know a lot of things has been going on, and you know, at your place. Give us a kind of an update of what's happening, and you know, because the kids are back in school, and what kind of stuff you guys got going on over there?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the kids are back in school, but we still got all the same events going. We got that kids club on Friday night, got those breaks on Saturdays. So yeah, it really hadn't changed a lot. It's just a matter of we don't see the kids during school hours. We see them all after school now.
Well, that's still they can still go and enjoy all of the same stuff, which is fantastic. Let me ask you this, because you know, avid card collectors, the one thing that they know how to do is preserve their card. So can you talk about how preserving a card and what it takes to take care of a card, because you don't want to mess it up, you don't want to get bent edges, you don't want it to be used in spokes. So you definitely want to take care of the cards. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's something we really try to impress upon the kids, because when you're a kid, you got limited money. You're trying to collect cards. Buying the cards, that's fun. Opening the packs and seeing what you get, that's fun. Spending that money on buying the little plastic boxes or the cardboard boxes that the cards go in, that's not always so glamorous, but it is really important. So yeah, definitely, it's an industry based on condition. So if you want to get your cards graded or perhaps one day sell or trade them, you need to keep them in as good a condition as they were when they came out of the pack. So we've got everything down here you need, from the basic penny sleeve, what they call the real soft, thin sleeve that cards can go in, and then next you put that inside what we call a top loader, which a lot of the Pokemon people call a hard sleeve. But it's known as a top loader. It's been that for about 45 years or so.
Yeah, and, we won't go with the new term. It's lame. Hey, now question. Whenever you put it into the top loader, you always penny sleeve it, right? Don't throw a card into a top loader, because the top loader is plastic. So always penny sleeve it, then throw it into the top loader, correct?
Yeah, we always do that. One thing is it keeps the card from sliding around at all.
Yeah.
So if it's in that penny sleeve and, you show your card to somebody, it gets turned over sideways or something, the card's not going to slide out of the top loader.
Correct.
The next thing you can do, like if you've got a thicker card, sometimes you don't find those top loaders in the perfect size. Now, we say size, we don't just mean, the length and the width, the actual thickness, because some of your trading cards are going to be thicker than others. Some of the more expensive sets, the cards are thicker, but also if you're lucky enough to pull one of those cool cards with a piece of jersey or bat or something like that, that's going to be a thicker card. You need a thicker top loader. Sometimes those sleeves of those thick cards, they don't line up perfectly, so you can put them in something called a team bag, put your top loader inside that. So even then, if it turns over, your card doesn't slide out of that case, because I've seen too many cards ruined that way. They're in a top loader, they got put upside down, and that card just falls right out. So we definitely don't want that to happen.
Well, let me ask you this. Brandon brought up a good question, and I'm stealing it.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, the icon, Dolly Parton, she passed away. Let's talk about collectability now for her. Brandon brought in a April the 4th, 1977 People magazine in a kind of
like in a frame. I just hang it behind my desk, but
I mean, what about stuff like that? Memorabilia. I'm not sure if she came out with cards. I know that there were magazines that she was in that possibly could be worth money. All of that. Do you know anything about that, and what do you suspect that's going to happen with that market?
Yeah, if it's like anybody else who's passed away, it may be hot for 72 hours or so, and then it's going to come back down to earth. It's people like that who are really famous. They were on a lot of magazines in their lifetime, a lot of photos taken of them. Unless it was something that was already worth money, it's usually not going to add a bunch of value to it just after the fact. Now, autographs, always.
Okay.
That's going to go up because that's a finite commodity now. That person's not going to sign any more signatures.
Yeah, you're right.
But just having their picture on a trading card or something like that. Look, there are a lot of, let's say, baseball players from the 1950s and 60s who passed away. A lot of them, you can get their cards for a couple of bucks just because they're on a lot of cards.
But Aaron, none of those are Dolly Parton. Come on now.
Well, I would, as a baseball fan, I would counter and say, well, Dolly Parton wasn't Hank Aaron. But, that's just me.
She was prettier than Hank Aaron, that's for sure. I'd say that.
Well, if Hank Aaron's on your,
I don't know.
If Hank Aaron's on your baseball Mount Rushmore, Dolly Parton would be on country music Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, there you go. But again, Hank Aaron was on a ton of magazines in his lifetime. When he passed away, those magazines didn't suddenly become worth a lot of money just because they had his photograph on it. Hank Aaron's autograph, though, did go up quite a bit and has stayed up because as more people want one, there's just, fewer out there. So a better example maybe in cards than that would be, we just lost the great Tim Curry. I think last night, the news came out today. Tim Curry, I say this because I know he was on more trading cards than Dolly Parton. He did some autograph series and stuff like that, and as well as doing a lot of fan conventions over the years and signing autographs for people. So, I know he's got cards and autographs out there. Those autographs will go up in value, as well as, what was it, a week ago? We lost Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
He had signed autographs this year for Disney for some of the top Disney cards. In fact, I had pulled one earlier this year, one of the characters she voiced in a Pixar cartoon. So,
Wow.
again, that's somebody that, that stuff goes up. I'd met her I met her back the first show she ever did, but also met her again this spring.
Did you keep her card?
I didn't have that one. I sold that one. I do have some other cards she signed.
Oh, that's cool. So you do have something. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, I got quite a bit of stuff she signed. So, yeah.
Well, when you talk about Dolly, I would assume with the autographs, maybe records. That would probably be where she would be. Yeah, where she would kind of be the one to have that. That would be kind of what I was thinking. So you could probably see that kind of being. Don't they treat that sealed though when it's sealed?
But it would still go back to those records. Millions of them were already produced, and they don't become more scarce just because someone passes. And, we've seen that before with a lot of other musicians, iconic musicians who passed away that, maybe people remembered, oh, I like them, I haven't listened to them in a while, I'm going to go out and buy a record. And that may put them back on the charts for a week or two, but eventually that settles down. And again, if they had a rare first pressing of an album or something like that, it was probably already going to have value because they were very well known and very popular. It's probably not going to add a ton of value just because they passed away. Their passing doesn't really affect, how plentiful that one record is.
Right. I got you. Well, let's move into some of the cards. I have a question because, we kind of didn't really talk about it as much. I thought it was a bigger deal than maybe some had thought. The good ones that Upper Deck had put out. I looked it up today, actually, just preparing for the show and getting some of these questions for you. When there's only been one of the autograph redemption for the packs that they're actually putting out, and it was at one of the large collection or collecting cons or whatever it was called. Have you heard any more about it? I mean, have they already? Because I haven't seen anything that says that they've found all of those cards yet. So they're really still sitting in those Goodwin boxes, just sitting on the shelf waiting to be had, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from it. I've always wished the card companies would do a little better job about that. I can understand their side of it, though. They're hoping you still think that 22 of those 23 are out there because you'll want to keep buying boxes. If they come out and say, hey, 20 of the 23 have been found, you may be less likely to want to spend the money to pop open one of those Goodwin boxes. Certainly because we see that with things like that 2026 Topps, that 52 Mantle. As soon as it was pulled, people were like, well, I'm done with Topps if I can't have that Mantle card.
Right.
So, yeah, I can see why they don't want that to, those numbers to get out, and probably they can't totally confirm it themselves. But, yeah, I wish that information got out there a little better. It would just, more informed collecting base of hobbyists is just better for the whole hobby.
Do you still have some of those boxes in the shop?
We do. Yeah.
Are they? Do you know how much they're running right now? Have they went up, or they stayed up about the same as what they were?
I think they've dropped a little bit, not a ton, but I think they have come down a little bit in price from where they were the first couple of weeks.
Wow, so that's really good. So there's still that chance to get it on, and you're an authorized dealer, and that matters, right? When it comes to Upper Deck, to me, it would seem like, and I know you probably don't want to, insinuate. I'll insinuate for you. I think it matters. So that's a possibility of you know what? You might be holding the redemption over there at Instant Replay Sports Card. What do you think about that, Aaron?
We could be. A couple of years back, Topps threw this huge party out in Vegas. They rented like a floor of a hotel or something. They brought a bunch of players out there and set up with a photo thing, and they printed the cards right there in the room. If you went, you could get your photo with a player. Topps would print your own one of one of you and that player, and they would sign it for you and all this. They put these redemptions in packs across Topps that year, and there were only 50 of these. People started calling them like Wonka tickets because they were like the golden Willy Wonka tickets, and they were selling for $30,000 to $40,000 to get to go to this invitation-only Topps party. We had one pulled out of one of our boxes.
Oh man, that's crazy. So, I mean, and it only makes sense that you being the I think you're the only one here in this area, right?
Yeah, I believe so. We're with everybody. We're with Topps, Panini, Leaf, Upper Deck, Wild Card, all those people, all the card manufacturers. We're an authorized direct partner.
Wow, and that's the part that really for these young kids that are looking, because everybody's watching these videos online, and there's no doubt that they want to go and be collectors, and they want to be able to have the big hits because that's what they show, and we've talked about that before. So it's just really being able to be consistent and find the ones that really go after what you really want. Do you see during the football season, is there going to be, now that the NFL is going to be starting in a few weeks, that there's going to be a bump up in some of their cards? And then talk about what's coming out.
Yeah, definitely. NFL football is one of those things that, as far as collecting goes, it's hot while it's being played. There's still some people collecting football in the off season, but it really picks up once the regular season comes around. So yeah, I expect to see a lot of increased activity with NFL cards, and it's going to be interesting to see what Topps decides to release. With this being their first year of making NFL cards in quite a while, they've made some the last 2 years or so, but they were really inconsistent. It looks like now they're going to have a regular release schedule. So we're going to be seeing, Bowman and Bowman Chrome football, and hopefully some of the cooler Topps brands that we're used to in baseball. Maybe some, Topps Tribute football, some museum collection football would be kind of cool.
And they're going to bring that out. They're getting ready to put out the flagship here soon.
It's already out.
It is? Okay, so it did come out. Yeah. Okay, is that the Jackson Dart rookie class, or is that the Fernando Mendoza rookie class?
That is a 2026 Topps flagship.
Wow.
Which we have the hobby, the jumbos, the megas. We have the value boxes, the blaster boxes for $24.99.
Wow,
that's a pretty good deal, man.
Yeah, I've heard of people overpaying and getting charged $50 or more for those things.
I've seen it online, no doubt about it. And while we're on this topic, Aaron, I want to ask you, now that Topps does have the NFL license, do you think that Topps Chrome or Topps Flagship will eventually become the football rookie cards to own? What do you see in that, from like a decade or so now that they haven't, because Flagship hasn't dropped in like 10 years or so?
Yeah, 2015 was the last time they just did a Topps football set.
Yeah, do you think that like the Topps Chrome, and now that, like I said, Topps has the license back, do you think like in 10 years now they're going to look back and it's like, hey, do you have any of those 26 flagship rookies or anything like that?
Maybe. It's going to depend on how they do on printing, because baseball is a good parallel to that. They've been doing that with baseball the last couple of years, and they've kind of overprinted the base Topps Series 1, Series 2, to the extent that some of those guys who are major stars, people love to collect them, their rookie cards are $5 or less out of like Topps Series 1 because they print so much of that for retail. So, if they can restrain themselves a little bit on that with the flagship stuff, that can become a premier card. Obviously, Chrome. Chrome can almost swing the other way. They don't print enough, certainly in hobby, where Chrome boxes are, I think, the 2025 Topps Chrome football is like $700 a box or something like that.
It's insane, yeah.
Yeah. That's out of people's range for just being able to enjoy collecting. Because at $700, you sweat buying that and hope you pull some big monster card. When it's a $200 box, you buy it, you have fun with it.
Yeah, fun.
You pull a $100 autograph and some cool inserts, and you're okay.
You feel good about it. Now you've kind of led into my next question, and I don't know how much time we have left, but you named two things that are in my next question is overpricing and overprinting, and I wanted to ask you what's hurting the hobby more right now in 2026? Is it high box prices? Is it overproduction? Is it the breakers, or potentially just too many parallels? So people don't even know what cards they're getting because there's so many different kinds.
That's right.
I think it's a good question. I think you can blame all of those things for some of it. Certainly the online breaking thing has hurt a lot of it, but also the high box prices have led to the online breaking. Somebody wants to get into cards, they can't afford that $700 box, so they go get in a break for $15 or $20 online. Mm-hmm. Those go hand in hand. The overprinting thing, to me, you solve the overprinting and the high box prices by this. Print less retail, print more hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Because you buy that $700 Chrome box, the base rookie card you get in there of Jackson Dart or whoever, that's the same exact rookie card you get in that Walmart box for $25.
Wow.
So it never has any value to it because you're like, man, I paid $700 for this box and got this rookie. And I can get the same rookie for $25. So print less of the retail, not a ton less. For some people, that's how they like to collect. Print a little bit less of that, print a little more of the hobby, so that $700 box is back down like a $200 box.
Yeah.
And I think you find that sweet spot in the middle. Look, this wasn't promised to anybody. You just get rich quick opening packs of cards. I don't think Topps or Panini or anybody owes that to anyone. It should be a fun hobby. It's not. It shouldn't be a career.
Right.
So, I think you can find that middle ground where everybody kind of wins and enjoys it. And like I say, you don't sweat. Do I pay my car payment or do I get a box of cards?
Yeah, you're right about that, and I'm guilty of it. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot of YouTube and stuff, and occasionally I'll watch a breaker just break open a box that I know I can't afford. I want to see what the product looks like. Like a Flawless or what is it? Some of the other ones that are like $1,000 or $2,500 a box.
Yeah.
Like that. What was the ML debut, or there was the one with the diamonds in it, and I got to watch some guys open up that, and that stuff is spectacular. But I'll never personally be able, even a break. I mean, he's talking about these breaks. You can pay $250 or $300 just a chance. And sometimes, Aaron, in those breaks, let's say you in the box and you pull you either pull a team or a player. They may not pull that team or that player. So you've entered $250 into a box or $50 into a box and don't pull any cards.
Nothing.
It's like a lottery. Yeah, and occasionally the breaker will send you a couple like, hey, I'm sorry you didn't pull nothing. Here are these cards. But there's no guarantee on that.
Yeah.
And you can speak on that too, Aaron.
What you got to watch out for, too, are the breakers who say they only ship you the hits because they're kind of double dipping. You paid in to buy a team. They open the box up. They'll send out the autographs or whatever. They keep all the rookie cards and, anything they don't want to call a hit, all the inserts and all that. Well, they turn around and sell all that stuff. So they got your money for buying a team, and then they resold the cards that, by all rights were your cards. Just because they're like, sorry, bro, I don't want to ship the base cards out.
It'll be another $10 in shipping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, tell us your hours of operation and location so everybody can come visit you.
Yes, sir. Hey, we are at 752 West 23rd Street in the Stanford Station. That's Academy Sports and Sweet Frog and all those great places right here around us. We are open 7 days a week here on 23rd Street. That'd be Monday to Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday, 10 to 8, Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. You can find us at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Well, that is great. Go visit over at Instant Replay Sports Cards. See Aaron over there. He does a great job. His team does a great job. Thank you so much for coming on, my friend.
Thank you, guys. You'll be good and be safe.
All right, man. Have a great week. And when we come back, we're going to dive into – we got to talk about our high school football player of the week. It's exciting. And we got a lot of football to talk about. We got to get this orange turning brown. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Here's the thing about Alabama fans. They're defeated early by their expectations.
Right. Yeah,
they should get off to a great start. I just want to say one thing.
Defeated early by their expectations.
That's like the slickest little shade thrown.
That's me every morning, bro.
Right. Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Get behind the wheel of an exciting new 2026 Kia model where advanced technology, confidence-inspiring safety, and premium comfort come together for every drive. Looking for an SUV? Check out the stylish new 2026 Kia Sportage or the family-ready new 2026 Kia Sorento. And if you need more room, the innovative new 2026 Kia Carnival MPV delivers SUV-inspired design with plenty of room for all of your adventures. Bringing style and performance together, experience the bold new 2026 Kia K4 and new 26 Kia K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, giving you peace of mind that you can trust. Visit Bill Bird Kia at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer, where we treat you like family. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Alan Watson from Gulf Plus in Panama City Beach.
When we first came to Panama City Beach to launch our business, we didn't really have a voice and we didn't have any way of letting people know that we were here and we were new. ESPN Radio has given us a way to reach our audience, which is sports fans, because of being in the golf industry. And we've managed to grow the business while staying on the radio for 6 straight years. So it's been the kind of thing that's really helped us to grow. It's brought in the most business, and it's the thing that we're recognized for and people associate us with. I couldn't be happier with our association with ESPN Radio.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. That's ESPNPC.com and click contact.
This is the Sports Blitz, where we don't have guests. We have punching bags. The Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight take on the two-time Los Angeles Dodgers. 6 o'clock is the cutoff. 6:15 is the first pitch. And we're so glad that you've joined us today on this great show. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. We got Brandon back in the building. Jeffrey's here. Bone Crusher's here. And just so you know, guys, Brandon is going to be here. And right before the football season starts for the NFL, Brandon's going to do Brandon's recommendations. And he's going to give you, he's the guru when it comes to fantasy football. He's going to be able to tell you, because Jeff, he thinks somebody's good, but they might be good, but they won't get they don't make points that way. It can't just be.
They got to get touches. They got to get receptions, especially if you play in a PPR league, which means points per reception. So every time a receiver catches it, he gets 0 yards, but he catches the ball, he gets an automatic point. So just a lot of targets, people that are looked at, and you not just look at the team that they're on. You got to look at who they're playing. You could have one of the best teams in the league, but if they're playing the best defense, you may not want to start them. You may want to play your mediocre guy playing the worst defense because you know that he's going to get looks. It's all about that kind of stuff, and that's what we'll talk about.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to talk about. What was you going to say?
I ran a league two years back in the days, And it was no receptions. It was no carries. It was all yards,
Y'all are
yards
savages.
and touchdowns.
Y'all didn't like that fun.
No.
Yards and
That's
touchdowns.
why the league is no longer going.
That's why it only lasted 2 years.
They fired him.
They said, this ain't fun,
done.
Jeff.
He's
I
done.
had kids and then had to, other stuff.
The wife said, you got to quit. You got to take care of this. Go wipe this
she
throw
didn't-
up.
She didn't tell me. I just kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
That stuff happens.
Yeah,
you just
it does happen.
You just fall out of stuff. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and go to the phone line. We've got Mike on the line. Mike, how are you today, my friend?
I'm fine, Paul. How are you?
We're doing great.
Good. Paul, a couple things make me angry. I tell you what. Have you read or heard anything about this San Francisco 49ers owner getting in trouble in Ohio?
Yeah, Mike, we didn't really talk too much about it, but we did have a call yesterday about it. We talked a little bit about it. $140 in a trailer park.
No. Okay. It was coming out that it was $140, but when they found, like when he went in, he had $160, so maybe he was tipping $20.
Leave it to Jeff
Yeah.
to talk about it too.
Technicalities.
And whoever she was, she didn't.
It
get
wasn't a
taxed.
she because it ended up being a cop, a
Okay.
male cop.
Well, the thing is that they didn't charge tax on that $20
Right.
tip either.
Tax evasion.
There's no tax on tips, boys.
Tax on tips. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Paul, all kidding aside, what should happen to the 49ers owner? Then I got another question for you.
I mean, look, if he goes to jail, it's a business. So it's just like if another business owner was to get, taken out to jail or whatever. I mean, there could be, I think there's a code of conduct the NFL might have for that. So he could get, a fine or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't have any problem with whatever the NFL decides to do.
This guy's got deep pockets and good lawyers, and it's already been knocked down to disorderly conduct. And I'm not lying to you. You need to look it up.
Wow.
Jeffrey, let me tell you something. This owner should be railroaded out of town on the rail because I don't like what he does.
Well, okay, what about Robert Kraft, though, and all of his massage parlor experiences in Florida?
No, Robert Kraft didn't know any better. He should have been run outside town a long time ago. Well, he should have. I'm not doing good Patriots fan. He should have been forced to sell the team to another owner.
Wow,
No.
that's pretty steep, Mike. I mean, I get it. I'm the same way as you are about this. This is ridiculous. This definitely puts a black eye on the San Francisco 49ers. Puts a black eye on the NFL. But on the flip side of it, the way I feel about it is it's a business, and I mean, if you go to jail, maybe they'll fine them. Maybe there's a code of conduct, something that'll be.
They spin him and get him over with. Or throw him out of the football league. Now, my other...
Well, let me say this one little thing real quick. That lets you know that nothing good ever happens in Ohio.
Right. Now, the other topic I want to talk about, what's your guys' opinion on Deshaun Watson's comments about the Browns fans? And what do you think of what the coach Monken said about the Deshaun Watson being his starter?
I mean, yeah, I let me step in right here and say, I didn't. If I was a Browns fan, which I'm not, I would not like him being. But on the flip side of it, I get what he's saying, but he's not taking responsibility. To me, he's never really come out and took the full gamut of what he did, and yes, the people came out and some of them stopped and withdrew their suing him at the massage parlors and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, I feel like he never come out and said he did anything wrong. And to me, the way he acted at the press conference the other day, he seems like the person that has never been told no because of his athletic ability, and now he's a spoiled brat because he's got the money to be able to pay for it, and now he's going to be the starter. So that's part of it.
$240 million. He should be running out of town. I think after this year, he will be out of season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, with the guy from San Francisco and Deshaun Watson, you done run those two people out. Let's just run everybody out of the state of Ohio and just let's start over.
And then have them go into LSU.
Amen, because I don't like Ohio, so I'm there with you, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I mean, the 49ers owner, I mean, he's just trying to support Ohio businesses.
Oh, my gosh. You would say
he
that.
He could have gone to Vegas. What is this legal there? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, I have no comment.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know we haven't talked much about it, but to talk so, I mean, to have so much money, but to be doing it there.
And to suspend him? Doesn't he sign his own checks? Like he owns the team. What do you?
Is he on a budget?
I don't know. I mean, really.
There's so many jokes at this. It's unreal.
What an odd amount and an odd place for an old
trailer
guy
park
to be in a bad situation.
Yeah, it's a bad look for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line. We got Ed on the line. Ed, what's going on, buddy?
I lost $140 yesterday betting against the Dodgers.
Well, you know, if you would have listened to your old buddy Paul, I actually predicted the score. I don't know if you realized that or not. I said it was 4-3 yesterday.
That's perfect.
I said I think it's going to be 4-3.
You did.
I did say
forgot about
4-3, and it ended up being 4-3.
Because you said something about the 4 that they're not going to score much more than 4.
Do you understand if you would have actually bet on the score to be correct? Woo,
Wow.
we'd be out right now.
I'd be in Ohio heaven right now.
Ohio heaven. Get out of here, Ed.
Wow.
Hey, before I let y'all go, hey, I just want to say, can I give a shout out to somebody really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, today my daughter is 2 today. Her name is Blossom. I just want to say I love you so much. Time is flying by. You are one of the most special people on earth. I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my life, helping me get sober, making my life a lot better. I love you so much, Blossom. You are one of the best things that has ever happened to me. I love you so much. Thank you.
Man, congratulations, Ed, because I remember when I was on here, you know, in early winter, where Riders football season was in, and you were talking about your sobriety. So congratulations for still continuing that journey.
Yeah, and happy birthday, Blossom, from the Sports Blitz right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. Thank you so much, Ed, for calling, man, and go Braves.
Go to hell.
Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you. Oh, man. But, yeah, the Braves last night did fantastic. I'm excited about it.
They won by 1 again, Paul.
They win.
I keep on talking about these
one. And I heard that you said the Dodgers were going to be World Series champions again this year.
Yeah, he said back to back to back. He did say it.
Yeah, it was a joke and a ribbing more than anything.
It was a proclamation I saw.
Well, I'll tell you
But I was surprised that he said he was a little scared of the Cubs. If they drop down and become the 4 seed and they're playing the 5 seed Cubs, I mean, that's a possibility.
PCA, he's no joke. He's on a hot streak. You know, like Cal Riley last year, Pico Armstrong, he's on with the Cubs. You know, guys like that, you know, every year you got a guy getting hot at the right time. Like last year was like Cal Riley's year. You know, Aaron Judge is always up there, but it was Cal Riley. You don't hear much about Cal Riley this year.
No,
but this year it's Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah.
And so, like, every year, you know, you're always going to have your Otanis. You're always going to have your Judges. But every year there seems to be a guy that comes out and is like, hey, look at me.
I mean, he's literally – PCA is literally – kind of, because last year he had a good year.
Yeah.
I would say really good, not great. This year he's having a great year.
And on both sides, in the bat and in the field, he is lightning fast. The plays that he makes almost look ordinary, but no other body would make him because he's I think they said he's like the fastest guy in the league.
Yeah.
What happened to L.A. De La Cruz? Because
he's still
there.
Just striking out a lot.
2 or 3 years ago, I mean, he was like the new guy.
Just striking out a lot. Just, you know, you got to be able to hit. If you're going to strike out that much, like Schwarber, where you strike out a lot, you better hit a lot of home runs.
To make up
and get
for
RBIs.
Yeah.
And he's still fast. He still steals bases. He still makes good plays. But also there's a little bit of he doesn't play hard all the time. So that's a little bit of step against L.A. De La Cruz right now. So not really killing the baseball as much.
And the Reds aren't.
Yeah, and they're not
phenomenal right now. So I mean, it doesn't help. Like right now, Pete Crow Armstrong, like he's doing good. Cubs are doing good. Last year, Cal Riley and the Mariners, great. You know, you don't hear about the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah,
you know,
their playoff percentage has just been dropping. The Diamondbacks and the Padres are in that for the last spot.
Well, we're done for the first hour. When we come back, we have got some breaking news that the NFL just put out, and we're going to discuss it right here at the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Is Paul right or is Paul wrong? Call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290.
The brutal hits. The heartbreaking turnovers. The heroic comebacks.
In for the touchdown.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida delivers the biggest matchups of the week from across the nation. Your college football headquarters on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight with a light breeze at 5 miles per hour out of the south and temps near 79. Tomorrow morning we will have a likelihood of thunderstorms and very light rain and be hot at 85. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds in the afternoon and evening, and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Something big is coming. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. That means Florida from Texas to California, every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with code NWFlorida. Spend $5 to get 200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code NWFlorida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Upgrade your time on the water. Blue Water Marine Electronics is now open at 2320 West 15th Street at the old Kawasaki dealership off Highway 98. Blue Water Marine Electronics is your marine electronics one-stop shop destination for sales, service, installation, and repairs. Plus, their Bay County's authorized Minn Kota Warranty Center. Stop by the new location, Blue Water Marine Electronics on 15th Street in Panama City today.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Pull up a chair, Braves country, because your Atlanta Braves are ready to play ball on the Braves Radio Network.
And he swings it. It's one high and deep to left field. Green to the wall, and it's gone! Home run, Ozzie Albies!
Tonight, one of baseball's biggest matchups comes to Truist Park as the Los Angeles Dodgers roll into Atlanta for a 3-game series with the Braves.
Coverage coming up at 6, first pitch 6:15 on your home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN Northwest Florida.
You've got the games, but we've got the breakdown.
That's the difference between a winning football team and a losing football team.
Hot takes, cold truths, and the takedowns that get everyone talking. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Then you're going to run into a big problem.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local right here at 5 o'clock. You made it through hump day, baby. You got 2 more days until the weekend, and not just the weekend. It's week 0. We got football on Saturday morning, and we're excited about it. At least I am. But you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN. Your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight take on the Dodgers. 6 o'clock is the start time. 6:15 is the first pitch. The Braves on the Gulf Coast are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290. You can call in or you can text in. Somebody's already texted in today, and he said, glad to hear Brandon's voice back on the show. Hottie toddy, baby. So there you go. I just said it. Brandon, he's back. Brandon, glad to have you back.
Thanks, Paul.
And then Jeffro is in the building. Bone Crusher's here. Jeffrey, what were you about to say while you're trying to interrupt me while I was doing my sponsorship stuff? I know you're about to say something. What? What do you want?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I got to talk about some of our Facebook people. Taylor Swift will be posted on the back of a dumpster behind the Golden Corral. Kyle Albritton said that Chuck Norris died this year too. So that's 3 people. It happens in threes a lot of times, people say. Josh Harley said he's no Paul Wilson, though. That's what I'm talking about, Josh. Keep it up, buddy. You're an awesome fan. We appreciate that. But we're going to talk about something that just came across the wire, guys, and it has been discussed and now it's been put out. The NFL and the NFLPA have announced that players who commit 3 violations in any of these categories in a season will be suspended for 1 game. All right, you ready for the list? The hip drop tackle, the horse collar tackle, launching, hit on a defenseless player, and a blindside block. So you've got to do it 3 times. If you do it that 3rd time, you're going to be suspended
in a single game or all season?
All season.
I still don't like the hip drop thing because I feel like that's still hard to define. Launching, and those kind of other things that are pretty easily. Launching, leaving your feet, using your body as a projectile. That used to be a good hit back in the day, but
blindside block, kind of good. What do you want to do? Wave at the person? Hey, I'm over here. I'm about to hit you.
Yeah, that's what they want. They don't want you to basically earhole people like the crackback block that we all used to do in middle school and high school to go kill the linebacker. I mean, There's none of that. You can't hit people if they're not looking at you. Basically.
You ever seen that on like a kickoff or a punt return and all that, and the guy's running right at him, and you're like, he should see him. He should see him. No, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the worst is when there's an interception. That's the worst.
You're right.
I ain't gonna
lie. The whole field's
I
flipped.
I was. I don't
worst.
know. I don't know how to say it. I don't even know if I want to, but I was a very headhunter on the football field, and we get an interception or kickoff. I would literally, I'd look for somebody not looking, and I'd run to them, and I'd just put them on the ground and said, "Wake up." And then I'd go back to my sideline. I would look for guys not looking. Wow. It's just like they're not paying attention. They're lackadaisical, and I'd just give them a little. I say, "Wake up."
Well, the one thing that I know that back in the day that was done is that when the quarterback throws an interception, they always try to block him.
Oh, yeah.
So try to find the quarterback, get a good lick. You can get your little lick on him.
My quarterback in high school, his name is Chad Wojtek. He went to Pittsburgh to play for Narduzzi, I believe it was, and then he went to Arizona State after. One of my best friends growing up, he started playing quarterback in 6th grade. Anyway, whenever he threw interceptions, look out because he was hot-headed. Well, big dude. Strong, one of the strongest, fastest kids on the team. Probably like 6 foot, 6'1". Built well for a high school quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
And he'd throw an interception, and he would go tackle the guy. 9 times out of the 10, our quarterback was the one that made the tackle when he threw an interception. He'd be so steamed. Some of the hardest hits I've ever seen is when he would throw an interception.
Some people have gotten their career jump-started in the NFL, even though they're good college players, in the NFL on, like, special teams.
Yeah.
And I was watching one. It was Terrell Davis. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Terrell Davis was buried behind 3 running backs for the Denver Broncos in 97 or 96. Actually, 96. And he was about to get cut. And they're in the second preseason game, and it's in the second half. And Terrell Davis did not think he was going in the second preseason game because he hadn't played in the first one. and he's stuffing his mouth with hot dogs.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
And he ate multiple hot dogs, and then the special teams guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, you going in for this kickoff?" He ran through a 49er. I mean, just ran through him, full speed and everything, hot dogs and all.
Dude.
And guess what? They put him back in, and they're like, "This guy can run too as a running back," and they made him the featured running back of the team that year, and he was going to be cut.
Well, that's why a lot of these NFL players were advocating to not delete special teams. It means a lot to a lot of guys. It honestly does, and there's some guys that they make their living out of special teams.
Oh yeah, Brian Mitchell.
So
there was wide receivers who just couldn't be that featured wide receiver in the pros, and they found special teams, and they became. Look at Devin Hester.
Yeah, Devin Hester was a special team return specialist.
Well, we're going to have to do some online fact checking on that story. Okay, Bone Crusher, make sure you type in text whether or not Terrell Davis started his career on the special teams. Just type that up because we're going to do some live but we're going to take
because Georgia was a factory of running backs.
I never heard of that. So
yes.
If Terrell Davis started out, we'll buy you a hamburger or something. But we're going to go ahead and go
hot dog.
Oh yeah, we'll get you a hot dog. We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line. We got Nate on the line. Nate, what's going on, my friend?
Well, it is a very special time of year. Since we're coming up on the 365 for your show.
That is correct.
Here. Very close. And so I want to congratulate you early.
Thank you.
Because I'm that kind of fan
Appreciate
of
it.
what you guys bring to the table. Even Jeffrey.
Love that.
So the fact of the matter is this, my gentlemen. There is so much going on in football. I wasn't able to talk about it the other day because of the passings of a beautiful lady. But now we got to get back to business. 49ers, you know what? I think it's the power station there.
The substation, yeah.
Stuffed in his brain or something. And you guys are talking about fines and stuff. Dude, you're part of a league. You pay to be part of a league. That you pay your dues, right? So you're like, I should be able to do whatever I want. No, you have to represent the league in a way that is positive so it doesn't detract from all the other people that are in the league. Or you get fined. It's kind of like an HOA. Hey, you didn't mow your lawn, we're going to fine you. Hey, you mowed somebody else's lawn. Yeah, with your teeth, but we're going to fine you.
Wow.
So I'm going to just, I think they need to crack down harder on owners, honestly, because owners are dirty. All right? The Seahawks don't have an owner. We're basically a collective group of minds that govern over. I mean, yeah, it's still one person that kind of makes the ultimate decision, but she defaults to the people that she put in charge. Now we're going to have to deal with the fact that we're selling to somebody, and if it's the partial owner for the 49ers, I can only hope that he's not like the 49ers, owner, that if they take this over and gives it to his son, which is what I'm hearing, I'm like, I don't even know this guy's name. I don't even like the guy already. Just, I would much rather go to former players that collectively pooled enough of their money to buy the team.
You want the beast. You want the beast to own part of Seattle, don't you? I know you do.
He's already got part of Seattle. He owns us in our hearts.
There you go. Let me ask you this first. Let's go back a little bit because I want to know what you think about this because so the way it works as far as this owner goes is the fact is that how can the NFL come out and be harsher if they've already pleaded it down to a lesser charge by the court system? Because technically, you can't do more than the courts that he's going to be tried in.
Because it's not a law, okay? It's what they would consider a bylaw or something that is contingent with the policies in which you agree to when you sign up your team to be part of the NFL. There's an owner's agreement as well, not just a player's agreement, not just a players group agreement, but there's an owner's agreement. All 32 owners and their parties, and I mean, there's probably multiple owners that are on some of these signatures, but they have to agree that if they mess up, they're going to be at the liberties of the group that is the NFL and pay whatever fines they deem appropriate.
Yeah, there's kind of like a sorority or a fraternity of NFL owners, and they're not ones that like rat each other out because I'm sure they all have dirt on one another, man. They're all doing sleazy, slimy, shadow stuff, and they vote, and they have supporters, and just like colleges, they have people who throw them money and do this and do that, and it's just not a realistic thing for other owners to throw another owner under the table. I mean, they hired Roger Goodell to run their league. The owners own the league. That's who owns the league. They have all the money, all the control, all the power. There are 32 owners of the NFL, and Roger Goodell manages 32 owners, and that's that. And they keep him employed because they could change him, anytime they really wanted to, even though he's got a contract. So. And
we don't want a blanket statement that it's a bunch of old guys with money, because the Saints are owned by Gail Benson. But let's
She's
be
just
honest,
an older girl, with money.
Woman, with money, yeah. But I mean, we're kind of painting a broad, painting stroke with what all these people are like. Because we look at Jerry Jones, and he's kind of like the face of the whole league, really, as far as the owners go.
Yeah, I mean, he's the most outspoken, and I think that's why he's the face, is because no owner is that involved with his team rather than Jerry Jones is. I mean,
and outspoken.
Yeah, exactly. You'll hear Jerry Jones speak more than the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So, I mean, that's that.
I grew up in the Al Davis era.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, God knows what was going on with Al Davis. I've got a guy who knows Al Davis personally, and he says that guy, man, he is shady when it comes to shady. And you look at his son, man, that guy, I don't know what happened with the ugly tree that kid fell out of.
Wow.
But I'm telling you right now, that bowl cut, denture wearing, I mean, come on, man. Vegas could do better with a better owner. At least I can't say anything about Seahawks ownership because, man, those guys are like angels.
And what about
Dirk came down? I would eat crow, and I would say, yeah, that was pretty messed up.
So you like Irsay better than Davis?
Oh boy.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it.
Wow. You guys.
You're pulling me into a corner, Jeff.
Wow. You sure did. And you guys talking about what guys look like. You and Jeff need to start your own podcast ranking all of the men in the world.
I want to talk about. I'm a fat old man. I don't care what people think about me.
Oh, that's great. Well, Nate, man, I appreciate the call, buddy. You are awesome.
I love you guys, man. Anytime you guys want to talk, you know my number.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. But let's get back to the, Are they trying to protect the players? Is that what we're trying to see? I mean, but we're seeing a lot more injuries, no contact, than we really do most of the times on contact. This is a game that is brutal. It's going to happen.
They're gladiators.
They are, but I agree with some of that. But if you, it's almost like, and hear me out for this. They change the way the offenses can move. They change the way the offenses can make plays and do all the things. And so you put the defense at a really hard disadvantage as it is. All of the moving, all of the clapping, all of the stuff that they can do to make the defense be on their heels, right? And now they're doing even more. Again, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see people getting hurt. I don't want to see people hurting people on purpose. But you know as well as I do, if it's not going to be a hip drop tackle, if it's not lunging, it's going to be something else. They're going to get hurt. This is a violent sport. I don't want a bunch of rules that's going to implicate somebody. Because just give me just a real quick let me go on a tangent for just a second. Your two best defensive players are on your playoff winning team. And you've got, during the season, you've got to win 2 or 3 of your last, you got to win the last 2 games to get the highest seed. And your best 2 players, both of them in that game before their last game that they must win, both of them are at number 2. And both of them do something that would deem a suspension play. And you lose both of your best defensive players in the last game of the season that's going to dictate whether or not you host the playoff games. I just think you need to do something that's going to affect the play. You need to do something that's going to affect the game at that game that you're playing. When you start taking away games, when you start suspending people, and then it's going to determine, it's going to be based off of what the referees see anyway. And then what are they going to do? They're going to go to the screen. Who's going to do it? New York. So now New York gets to decide whether or not, okay, and we've already found out that these guys bet, they go and make money on side games and all of that.
Yep.
So you know what? You're losing the integrity of the sport when you're trying to categorize what's a legal hit, what's a not legal hit, when two grown men that are physically fit, that are great athletes, that are in the top 1% in the world athletically, and are running to get away from the other one, and the other one's going in to tackle them. And you're allowing that offensive player to do anything he wants to. Why is it that the offensive player can stiff arm and grab your face mask and just about throw you down, but if you grab his face mask, it's a 15-yard penalty? It's just made for the offense and the offensive player to score points so that we can fill the stands, so that the NFL can make money. They need to stop this mess. They need to let it affect the teams during the game that they're playing. Kick them out of the game if you want, but I don't love that. Give them a 15-yard penalty, and if they do it 3 times in a game, then yeah, you're out.
Yeah, I agree with you and everything you said. It's getting to the point where it's starting to affect the integrity of football, the sport, and what we all know it and how it come about. I agree with you as well as far as that needs to be taken care of in game. You're right. Get sent up to New York. New York calls Las Vegas. Hey, where's the money at? Like, what do we need to do? Like, I mean, those are conspiracy thoughts. However, you'd be dumb not to think that some of that stuff goes on.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that these referees have the ability to completely change the game. I thought we were trying to take referees and umpires with the quick reviews and the live and the ball spotting and this and that. I thought we were trying to take their, a lot of their opinions out of it and not come down to the predictability of the game. I'm at the understanding that this could all be solved with a little bit of money that the NFL has plenty of. The fact that they don't offer and haven't offered, and they said they don't know how, and it costs a lot. These guys' lifetime insurance.
Right.
Just, hey, we know, piece of paper, we know this sport is violent. We know that you're putting your bodies on the line. We will pay you respectively and very, very well throughout your career here. We want to let you know that we don't know the aftermath and all the effects that are going here. Sign on the dotted line, and we promise you that we'll take care of you for the rest of your life, no matter what you face. And that's it.
So you have
End of story.
I think you have to be
But you can't.
5 years in the league right now, right?
I don't
thought
know,
it was
but
6, but it might have been to 5.
And who knows? Maybe like there could be like, hey, spend 2 years in the league and get 30% of your health care taken care of the rest of your life. Spend 4 years, get 60. Spend more than 5 or 6, get 100% of your health care for the rest of your life, whether you have CTE, whether you get cancer, whether you just have arthritis or you can't move when you're 60 or 80 and you got to have injections or something of that nature. If the NFL would just say, hey, you are the products that drive this league. We want to invest in you long term and say, hey, come play for us. We'll take care of you, and we'll take care of you and your family for the rest of y'all's lives.
Do you believe in illegal formation?
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Do you believe in what do you call it when you too many people in motion for the offense? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that for the defense? Why doesn't it be equal for that?
Because the defense,
because otherwise you have defensive guys, they're looking to blitz and everything and come at you.
That's fine if you're on the same side. That's okay. You can blitz anytime.
I don't know. I think
everybody can blitz, but you can get
you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Everybody can blitz.
But I don't believe that if you can only have one person in motion on offense, why not have that for the defense?
Yeah, I'm not.
They already got too many rules for the defense.
I'm
mean,
let
them.
There's more points ever been scored now than ever before, and it's not just because they're better athletes than the defense, because the defense is just as good athlete. But let me just say this, talking about the injury stuff, you can go back and look right now, and I'll tell you this. You get Deion Sanders to go for an interview. And obviously everybody and their mom knows because of all the turf toe and all the stuff that he had his big toe taken off, right? But I guarantee you, if you say, hey, Deion, you can have your toe back, we'll rewind your life and let you have your toe back, but you cannot be a professional athlete. You can't talk about sports. You got to go take another job just like the rest of us. No, Deion would say, you know what? I'll take all of the stuff that I've gone through in my life so that I can be the Deion Sanders that everybody knows without the big toe. And he would be okay. It's just like some of these older players have said. I lived a great life. I was able to do stuff that I never thought I would be possible for my family, making all of this money, playing a sport that I love. You know what? I'm injured later on in life. Yes, I might be in this wheelchair. Yes, I might be crippled or a little hurt, or I might have some arthritis, or my fingers might be a little bit like this. I still would play all over again.
Well, I would say almost 9 out of 10 of every single one of them would say, hey, I would do it all again. Plus, I think Deion said I'd give up my other toe to do it again.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. That's just how diehard these crazy football players are. I know how crazy involved I love sports and how I would have been out there. Imagine if I was as gifted in that 1%. Like, you have an opportunity you're not willing to pass up, and that literally less than 1% of people in the entire world even have an opportunity to do. And the ones that go on and be successful and go and do the whole thing.
It wears me out because it's like they're not wearing a tutu. This is not ballet. This is grown men who are at the peak performance of a human body that can be, and they're trying to destroy the other person. It's just like MMA. I mean, you allow that, and there's no rules except for, what they would deem cheating. And again, these other things of how you tackle somebody. So now you need to tackle this way, and you can't grab them from behind. Okay, well, if you're going to do that for the defense, then if that guy spins, then he's down right there because he's going backwards. Because I can't pull him down because you said that's a hip tackle. So it frustrates me. I figured you guys would not understand how frustrating I am about this because we're not playing tiddlywinks. We're playing football, and we don't. You're going to get injured. They're running down the field. Jamar Chase the other day just went up and grabbed and come down on his ankle. It's just part of the game. You're going to get injured. You're going to hurt at night. You're going to need to take care of your body. You're going to need to take care of what you're doing. So I just want to do that. But we're going to go ahead and take our break before I throw something in here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We're going to talk some college football when we get back. You don't want to miss it.
Your attention, please.
ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight with a light breeze at 5 miles per hour out of the south and temps near 79. Tomorrow morning we will have a likelihood of thunderstorms and very light rain and be hot at 85. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds in the afternoon and evening and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. That means Florida, from Texas to California, every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code NWFlorida. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code NWFlorida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook, prediction, and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Pull up a chair, Braves country, because your Atlanta Braves are ready to play ball on the Braves Radio Network.
And he swings it. It's one high and deep to left field. Green to the wall, and it's gone!
Tonight, one of baseball's biggest matchups comes to Truist Park as the Los Angeles Dodgers roll into Atlanta for a 3-game series with the Braves.
Coverage coming up at 6, first pitch 6:15 on your home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
On this show, we don't hold back. We react, we dissect, and we tell it like it is. You're locked into the truth. Listen! You're locked into the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight take on the Dodgers. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290. Guys, I don't know if everybody saw it or not, but before the show today, I was able to go over and present this year's S&W Diesel Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson High School Football Player of the Week. Week 1, and it's sponsored by S&W Diesel Auto Repair, and also Duplay is a part of it, and Ferrucci's is a part of it, and the player is from Mosley High School, Cole. Now, Jeff, you're going to like this. This is how he spells his last name, Archambeau. And while I was doing the video, I said, hey, I am not Cajun, and I'm not French. And so I don't know how to pronounce your name. And so take it.
Archambeau.
Yeah, Archambeau. Yep. So Cole Archambeau, he had 10 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. Now, our panel of 8 people picked this, and it was unanimous. And how we do it is we take the name out, we take the school out, and all we do is put the stats up. And this young man played outstanding. I was actually at the game, and it was about third and fourth down. He was just in the backfield. And, you know, there's stats that don't get counted for in football. And one of those stats that he was just being in the backfield and making the quarterback hurry, making the quarterback have his head on a swivel, looking for him.
Yeah. You're right. Those things aren't recorded on a stat sheet.
No.
I mean, is that maybe some in higher level pressures and things like that, but not in high school, man. If you're in the backfield disrupting, that does more than a lot of people even think.
And some of the tackles that he made, it was like, had he not made that tackle, there was nobody behind him because they had, he was the one left over there by himself because he plays defensive end. They put him in the middle, they move him around, and he's just really active. But 3 sacks in one game against a Choctaw team that was really good. Everybody, they had made it to the Final Four last year. The Choctaw, so they're not a pushover team at all. Mosley ended up winning that one 15-13.
But let's talk about getting the quarterback to be like antsy and not being comfortable and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually, you disrupt somebody like that and they get all crazy and everything. It's usually in the first half. Guess what? Goose egg in the second half. He stalled out drives in the second half.
You're right.
To pull the goose egg in the second half is a big deal.
I mean, and you can tell like they had to start double teaming him. The thing about it is even though it was the Larry Bird, even though you knew what was going to happen, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
And he was unstoppable. They couldn't do anything with him because, and again, I had talked about the game some earlier this week, and Choctaw was big up front. Those guys were big, but you saw those guys start putting their hands on their they were out of shape. He was wearing them out.
Yeah.
Because he's about 6'2", about 240. He's about 6'3", almost 240.
Wow.
So he's a big youngin. I mean, he's a big kid, and
Do we
he
know
can
if he's
move.
a senior or junior?
He's a senior.
Okay.
He's already got one offer from Nicholls State, which is a good offer.
Cool.
And
He'll get, if he plays like that the rest of the year, he's going to get a couple more than just Nicholls State. I mean, we're early in the year, and this kid this might be his breakout year.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, that's game wrecker stuff, and defensive end or defensive lineman that can game change.
Yeah.
Are big valuable.
I'm just saying he had a great game. Again, if you want to nominate, and look, we take the way it's set up. We've got everybody on the committee to do this. So if your player didn't get it, don't look at me and get mad at me. You can get mad at Jeffrey, but not me. I didn't do it. But either way, you can nominate via Facebook. You can nominate You can send us a message. You can call the radio station, 850-215-6290. We've got 9 weeks of this left. It's going to be awesome. We got more sponsors joining up, so it's going to be even bigger prizes. Do play. Did a $50 gift card for Rucci's. Did a $25 gift card. There's going to be more coming, so it's going to be a fantastic way to highlight these kids and really show what they do on a weekly basis, because playing high school football is tough, man. I mean, you're practicing, you're going to school every day. It's not like college.
Yeah.
We talked about college a little bit. They don't go to class very much. They go online, and they go to their center, or they do it off their computer with their tutor. And I mean, these kids are having to go, and they're eating the school lunch, and they're doing the whole thing, and they're being there all day, and they're being there early, and they're going out and having a good time playing football.
He must have some type of connection down in Nichols, because Archambault, it's kind of a coincidence there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean.
You know what Nichols is called?
What?
Harvard on the Bayou. I don't make this stuff up.
Oh, my gosh.
But you know what? You know what I was going to say earlier, but I decided not to talk about it. But week 0. Apparently, it's only a thing with certain news outlets. They're not calling it week 0. They're combining week 0 and week 1, and they say the week of, but it's a 2-week stretch. And guess when the games start, Paul? Because I told you wrong the other day.
What?
I said it was Saturday, right? Over in Ireland. It's TCU in North Carolina. Well, that is for the higher level.
Right.
But guess what's happening tomorrow?
I say Thursday night. I think
Thursday night.
FBS start.
21 games for FCS.
FCS, okay.
And Nichols State is, I'm sorry, FCS? Is that right?
Yes.
Or FCS.
FCS.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nichols State is playing tomorrow night. But guess who's also playing for the first time as far as like being on a higher level? West Florida over there in Pensacola.
Wow.
They're opening against Southern Illinois in Pensacola, 21.5-point underdog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got something new and special on the Panhandle.
Yeah. Well, there is other breaking news with the NFL, and I want to see what you guys think about this. The NFL, we knew this was coming, has eliminated the Pro Bowl per a league official. The focus now will shift to celebrating honor of being a Pro Bowl selection. It always was a different thing, though, because the Pro Bowl, you always had your playoff teams. They wasn't going to go play. And then the next thing you know, the 5th or 6th best quarterback in their league or in their division got the Pro Bowl. I mean, come on. Can you really say that some of these guys made the Pro Bowl when they really didn't? They were the alternate, and it got all the way down to them because the other people were either hurt. I mean, there's been times where the best quarterbacks that were there were like on the 3rd worst team in all of football. So it's just it's one of those things. Are you glad, Jeffrey, that the Pro Bowl is over as far as the game?
Yeah, because it kind of devolved. It started with the whole Jerry Rice gets the pick, and then you're doing flag football, and it's just like.
And then they did did obstacle course stuff. The last good Pro Bowl that I can remember, I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and that was when Sean Taylor laid out that punter in the Pro Bowl, and I was like, dude, football's awesome. Yes. I love football. It was one of those hits, and I was like, Pro Bowl's always been ever since then, because that hit I think sent some memorandums around the league, and they're like, this
I don't
Pro
know
Bowl
when is the NFL Honors Awards thing? Is that during the summertime?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you be for having that the week between the Super Bowl and NFC Championship? That you would have the awards ceremony then?
No, because everybody that's playing in the Super Bowl is not going to be able to be there.
Yeah.
And that's the other part. But I did find out they retrospected Sean Taylor. I know he's passed away right now, but if he were to do that again, he'd be suspended for his next game with the new rules.
I thought that was awesome. Football's so cool.
Since we're all about retrospective, let's get your opinion about that. We got about 3 minutes before our next break.
Yeah.
Talking about retrospect, the 2022 class, all of this mess going on about opportunity to them to come back to play in college football. I will say this. I'm excited to say that overnight the SEC
they strengthened their statement.
They did step up and say something different. So the SEC said An SEC institution is not permitted to have an athlete on its roster who has done the following: previously declared for the NFL, NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw. Number 2, signed a contract with an NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate team, or has been listed on an NFL or other professional football league roster, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate roster. The commissioner is authorized to enforce this expectation with penalties against member institutions. So that's that for that part. I'm happy about it. I just know that the SEC did have a vote, and it was 16-0, but then LSU came back and decided to not do their vote. So it's 15-0.
Why would they do that? Unless they didn't know the vote count. Like, why would they? And I heard Lane Kiffin's interview on Pat McAfee, and he's like, it's like, what do you want me to do? They made laws, they made rules, and I followed them, or I bent them, or I used them. He's like, any coach that's not willing to do what it takes to make their football team better, are they a good coach? But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And,
right.
And that's
but
where,
somebody
that's
else is going to pick that guy up.
And they're right. And he stated that, all him and his LSU people, they said, okay, we do this. And because they weren't the first to recruit him.
Yeah.
They weren't. They were the first that the kid picked. And that's what they talked about. They said, hey, if he chooses us, we're going to be the poster child for this entire situation. They looked and said, okay, well, everything we've already been through, let's take the shot.
Should this have happened during basketball season, though?
I think they got ahead of it. It could have got ahead of it.
Yeah, no, because you'd have more G League guys coming back and trying. And honestly, I think this is worse than the Alabama one. Yeah. I mean, that guy was in the G League and never actually stepped on a NBA court. G League is, like D2 of the NBA, D3, maybe D1. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a step down. This guy was playing, has a Cleveland Browns in their building, in their locker room. Those G League guys don't get to step into any of these NBA locker rooms and do this and do that.
That's true. The G League is pretty much the minor league for
minor league.
But there is no minor league.
That Alabama guy did not play.
What do you think the
Lakers
preseason
Warrior
is?
Preseason.
The preseason is really kind of like a mix. No, it's a mix between minor league and the team that's going to, because half those guys are going to get cut anyway.
They might, but Burrow's still out there playing. Matthew Stafford's out there playing. The Stars.
So just because you're in a room,
just because you're in the actual stadium playing in front of the actual fans playing on the actual team that the Stars are playing.
And put this in the retrospect. You have an 18-year-old and you got this 24-year-old that just spent 3 months in a professional with a weight training, workout regimen, diet, all this. Think about it. That's about 6 years. Imagine if you were doing the Oklahoma drill at 12 years old facing a senior in high school. Think about your body development. That development don't just change because you get to be an adult. An 18-year-old and a 24-year-old, completely different. Yeah. And it's just unfair.
But Jason White of Oklahoma and in Florida State had a quarterback also. They were like 27 and 29 years old. Remember that? Mm-hmm. I mean, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is nothing new.
They went to
nothing new, but how often did it happen?
It
was a rarity.
No.
That's apples to oranges.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is because they play a different sport.
You have a 27 and 29-year-old taking another guy's position at 19 and 20 years old. It was happening 20 years ago.
But that kid was not a
former professional athlete
player. He was a professional baseball player.
No, but I'm saying that y'all talking about Indiana having 25-year-old or 26-year-old guys that should be playing with 18 or 19-year-olds.
I agree.
Well, it was happening back in the days.
That part, but you tried to make it sound like we were talking about the other part. I just wanted to differentiate.
Actually, I think one of them did go and play baseball and then came back.
Yeah, it was Chris Winkie.
Yeah, Chris Winkie. That was it.
Yeah, he won the Heisman.
And I think crossing sports is a little less different than.
Jim Thorpe had his Olympic medals taken from him because he was a professional athlete in baseball, and then he couldn't be an amateur in Olympics. He had already won the Olympics, and they took the gold away from him.
I mean, I'm not saying that's right.
If this would have been Alabama, this joker right here would have been blowing his brains off.
Like I said, I disagreed when y'all did it. I disagreed when you're trying to pick up 2 of them. I mean, that's absolutely.
It was a 2-for-1 special.
It was an absolutely ridiculous, and it's just a coincidence that both of them went to Ole Miss. Like, come on, man.
He is officially LSU, Jeff.
It's just the sleaziest, like Louisiana LSU Tiger thing that Lane Kiffin could have put all the greasy things in a pot, and that's the LSU Tigers.
And they call that boudin. That's what they call it. All right, here we go. So if you do, here's your punishment for the schools that violate the new SEC professional sports rule.
We have a
50% season suspension for head coaches, 50% of that sports annual operation budget.
Dang.
The SEC voting privileges on business matters revoked.
Wow.
So there you go. So
That's a
pretty
big hit.
harsh.
Yeah.
Pretty harsh what they're trying to do. I want to talk about Duplay in Panama City, 287 Aberdeen Parkway. They are your place for indoor fitness and fun. You don't want to go anywhere else but Duplay. They're a great place. It's safe. It's fun. It's exciting. They've got great food specials. They got great drink specials. They're a sponsor for the Sports Blitz High School Football Player of the Week. So you know what? All you Mosley people, go out, see Duplay this week. I'm sure the other high schools are going to have players represented. Go over there and see them right there at 287 Aberdeen Parkway in beautiful Panama City. Jeffrey, what you got?
Here's the plan. After a great day on the water, dock and dine at the Deckhand Social and watch the game in the pool. Complimentary docking at the Pirates Cove Marina. Get you some food, get you some drink. Just don't wear a volunteer shirt.
That's right. Also, the other thing is that, it's like swimming, all right? If we're going to treat swimming like they're doing the NFL, I'm on that tangent again. I mean, you got to wear a inner tube around your waist, and you need to have some floaties on, Jeffrey. So don't get in the water, so you just might not be able to make it. I mean, come on, man.
Man, make this make sense. So we're talking about all this, and all these guys can go to the NFL, and they can work out, and they can play, and they can make tackles, and they can play in college with NFL stats and the ESPN thing. But. I think we maybe mentioned this a little bit, but Arian Carter, the lead, the senior, the super senior, the leader of the Tennessee's defense. Okay. The guy that has the earpiece in. Our leading guy, one of the SEC's defensive players of the year, got suspended for reimbursing his agent for a $427 flight.
Yeah.
And the original suspension was 4 games. And they said, you know what? That's unfair. We'll give you 2 games.
Wow. And then now it's down to 1.
But you got a guy like this guy right here, Jack Pyburn, who went pro. He signed with the Buccaneers. He played in a game. He posted 2 sacks, and he's eligible to return with no penalties whatsoever.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Well, LSU Jeff just laughs it off and shrugs his shoulders.
But they're going to suspend my middle linebacker for 2 games?
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and take a break before I get mad. All right, here we go. When we come back, we will talk a little bit about the Tennessee Volunteers. They got a new quarterback, and we got to find out all about him. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Is Paul right or is Paul wrong? Call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290.
Pull up a chair, Braves country, because your Atlanta Braves are ready to play ball on the Braves Radio Network.
And he swings it. It's one high and deep to left field. Green to the wall, and it's gone! Home run, Ozzie Albies!
Tonight, one of baseball's biggest matchups comes to Truist Park as the Los Angeles Dodgers roll into Atlanta for a 3-game series with the Braves.
Coverage coming up at 6, first pitch 6:15 on your home for the Atlanta Braves. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Get ready, Duval. Jaguars training camp is returning to Miller Electric Center for 2026. Join us for an up-close look at our players in action as they prepare for the upcoming season. Daily availability is limited, so don't wait. Be part of all the excitement as football returns to Jacksonville. Get more information and secure your tickets by visiting jaguars.com/training camp. We'll see you there.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to espnpc.com and click the contact button. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community, and advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to espnpc.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to espnpc.com and click the contact button.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Now, the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves in about 12 minutes going to be playing against the two-time defending champion Dodgers. Although the Dodgers took it on the chin 4-3 last night, the Braves looking to do that again. 6 o'clock is the first pitch, or coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. Also, don't forget, you still got some time. If you want to call in on the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290. Brandon, Tennessee Volunteers have named their starting quarterback. Fajon Brandon is the guy. Now, before we get into him, you got to get the jersey that says Brandon on the back, because now it kind of makes sense.
I might have to do that.
That is it.
I'm glad to see him wear number 11. The last guy who wore number 11 was the Pasternaut. That was Josh Dobbs. He made football fun when he was there.
He's still in the league.
He is still in the league. He really is. And so, yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I was very surprised that we made a decision prior to the first game of the year. I really thought we were going to use that Furman game as kind of more of a fill, kind of get everybody looking. But I understand going into prep week how important it is to let your offense know, hey, this is the guy we believe in. Now, I'd be foolish to think that everybody on the team didn't probably know or have an inclination of who it was. And what I heard is, yes, McIntyre may know the playbook a little better, but Fajon was making all the splash plays without in the spring and summer and what they call fall camp, which is just late summer camp.
Right.
Without him being able to use one of his number one weapons, his legs. Mm. So with them being kind of neck and neck, and, just running the offense, and Fajon being able to make, the big splash plays, which Tennessee's offense, that's what the icing on the cake, the sprinkles on everything is those splash plays. That's what opens everything up. I think we got more options with him, like on 3rd and short, 4th and short. We're not running, QB power. We're not running an option play with McIntyre, who's 6'6", 200 pounds.
Right.
Just not built for it. Now, Fajon, who's 6'4", 6'5", 220, 225 pounds, boy's an athlete.
Yeah.
He can take a beating and probably still keep going. He's built like it. So I believe that he gave us more options, and I'm extremely excited about that. I was showing Jeff in the break. Over the last 5 years, Tennessee, over the number of touchdowns over the last 5 seasons from Power 4 teams. Number 1, Ohio State, 303. Number 2, Tennessee, 301. Then you got Oregon, Notre Dame, SMU, Alabama, Georgia. we can score touchdowns. We can score points. So I'm not necessarily worried about his ability. He's obviously a God-gifted ability, being a 5-star, one of the number 1 guys coming out of high school that year. So I'm not necessarily worried. This kid's mature. I've listened to him speak, and it's not, it's not just like your athletic student. He seems like a student athlete. He had a chance to go home this summer, and he stayed on campus because he said, I have more resources. I can throw. I can eat better. I got the lifting. I still have my coaches here. And, when he come in, Nico Iamaleava was still committed to Tennessee when he committed.
Oh.
So he knew he was coming in. He already knew Nico was there. He said, honestly, I thought I was going to come in and just, be, kind of learn and be the guy. Then he said, that left. And then he said, I watched Joey come in. And Joey was pretty good, learned it quickly. It's like, if Joey can learn it quickly, I can pick it up. I'm going to stay here this summer. And then when Joey didn't get to come back, he told himself, I listened to his interview, and he said, I got a shot. I got a shot at this. And he ended up giving it all he really had and stayed on campus. So I'm excited for the kid.
The thing is, I think it's going to be very interesting because Florida took the other route. Florida took the safer route. And talking to Coach Summerall yesterday, He makes mention of how good Tramel Jones, like kind of what Faison.
Yeah.
He's not the same size, but he does use his legs a little bit more as well than Philo. But it's going to be interesting to see because that's 2 totally separate ways of going after it. So realistically, you got Tennessee, you got Alabama, and you've got Florida. You got those 3 schools that are going to have brand new starters. And
I can't remember the last time that has happened.
That's a crazy
for those
thing.
3 teams that are pretty profound rivals among the 3, it's different.
But what makes it even crazier is that neither of the 3 teams, those guys have started and been the starter before anywhere else.
Where the LSU guy was somewhere else.
Arizona State.
Yeah, he started somewhere else. Even Austin Simmons at Missouri started somewhere else.
Yeah.
Even though he got hurt, he still was.
I was super intrigued that this is Heupel's 6th year, and not that I will, but I believe in his 6th year, the Tennessee fan base, if he goes 7-5 or 8-4, they're going to be probably calling for a pretty hot seat.
But not this year, though. It's just going to be getting aggravated.
After this year, I believe if it goes 7-5, maybe an 8. I think an 8-4 will be fine. But I think, and I don't know if this is maybe strategy on his part or whatever. But you go 7-5 with George McIntyre, who has been there. That looks pretty bad. You go 7-5 with a true freshman who shows hope. You have that running back coming from Baylor and high school Baylor in Tennessee. We got 5-star. We got TK Keys. I mean, we've got 5-stars all over the field. We've got a 5-star David Sanders. So we've got 4 on just the offensive side.
Could beaten though Alabama. Could beaten Ole Miss. Could beaten these teams that you're playing. Could that make that kind of go away, though? Even if you did go 7-5, maybe mess up on a couple of them?
I think even if we go 7-5, we're going to lose a couple of games we shouldn't because we have a freshman quarterback. But we're also going to probably win a couple of games that we probably shouldn't have because he has no fear and no tape on him. And I believe, and I'm not having a bold prediction, but I believe he's going to have a hell of a year. I mean, on the ground, in the air. I mean, we're bringing about we're believe it or not, we're actually a run offense first.
Yeah.
And we're bringing back an 1,100-yard back for next year. We're bringing back one of the top 5 offensive lines in the nation. I mean, we have 4 of our up front starters have 10-plus games under their belt. 2 of them played every game last season. And then a guy, David Sanders, who's our 5-star, who only played 6 games last year, who is completely healthy. So we're going to be able to protect him. I promise you that. And when we're not, he's going to find a way to use them legs, and he will be downfield quickly.
There's no Ole Miss or Georgia on the schedule.
Right.
And the only chance that they go anything less than 8-4 is they have to get upset because Texas, Texas A&M, LSU, and then Alabama are the 4 that –
I meant to say LSU and Alabama.
Yeah.
That's what I was meaning.
Those are the 4 games that they're potentially going to be underdogs in, correct?
Yes.
I know that the Texas and Texas A&M and LSU game towards
Texas
the end
and
of the
LSU
season
are at home.
Yeah, and they're at the end of the season.
Texas'
so,
third game.
I mean, a lot can happen
because Texas' third game of the year.
Both of those teams could fall apart.
No, actually, Texas' fourth game because we've got Furman.
Yeah.
Then we have a pretty big out of conference game. We got Georgia Tech
at Georgia Tech.
At Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. So I mean, that's going to be that's going to be a good test for.
Only way you're going less than 8-4, you're gonna have to get upset, and hopefully it's not like at Arkansas or somebody like that.
We haven't beat Arkansas at Arkansas in like 20 years. So, I mean, I think that. Time is now, man. I could see us going 7-5, but if we ended up going 10-2, I'd be like, whoa, because we have it all over. We have it all over the field. You got to think about it. Tennessee's defense was ranked 91st in the country last year. 91st, finishing 8-4.
So if you lose to Texas and Alabama and you drop either the LSU or LSU or the A&M game, you're at 9-3. You might be still sitting on the outside of the playoffs.
And we might, but with a freshman quarterback, you know how positive we're going to be looking in going into the 27 season.
Yeah.
If we go 9-3, if we go into the 27 season going 9-3 with a bowl win or something like that,
top 10.
Dude, let me tell you, Paul is right. With what we have coming in, what we have returning, we will be a top 10 returning team next year, and I promise you, we're on the cusp of winning an SEC
Man,
championship.
it's so great to have Brandon back. Oh, loved it, man. Great to have you back. Don't forget, tomorrow we got another action-packed show. I'm sure there's going to be breaking news. Thanks for listening today on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
I may not have gotten Texas right at the end of the season. I did miss a game or two.